Hey, this is really weird. So give me a sec to get myself together. I haven't gone live anywhere in so long. Oh my god. Excuse me, I'm kind of stuffy. What I've noticed just from the randomness of spending a lot of my time like for some of the stuff that I'll be talking about in my upcoming videos, which I'll explain all of that later. Um happened. I got so used to talking to a camera and to myself just because I broadcasted a lot. I'm sitting here having a conversation to no one, and it's totally normal. Live on YouTube if anyone wants to come check it out. I know you can't really see the user. Okay, there we go. So yeah. But so guys, just till we get someone here, I'm just gonna do covers maybe? I don't know. Because I kind of want to wait to explain why I'm doing this stream till we have some people here. Because I think it's going to be really awkward to go about this. If I don't have someone listening. I can usually carry a conversation pretty well without someone, but I don't know. This seems like a conversation I want someone there for. So I suppose I'll just look up lyrics because I don't have anything memorized right now. And that's the truth of it. Doesn't kill you, makes you wish you were dead. Got a hole in my soul going deeper and deeper. And I can't take one more moment from the silence. Loneliness is haunting me. And the weight of the world's getting harder to hold on. Comes in waves, I close my eyes, hold my breath and let it bury me. Not okay and I'm not alright, won't you drag the leg and bring me home again? Who will fix me now? Dive in when I'm down. Save me from myself. Don't let me drown. Doesn't destroy you. It's broken inside. Got a hole in my soul going deeper and deeper. And I can't take one more moment of the silence. Loneliness is haunting me. And the weight of the world's getting harder to hold on. Comes in waves to hold my I close my eyes, hold my breath and let it bury me. Not okay and it's not alright. Won't you drag the leg and bring me home again? Who will fix me now? Dive in when I'm down. Save me from myself. Don't let me drown. Who will make me fight? Drag me out alive. Save me from myself. Don't let me drown. Cause you know that I can't do this on my own. Oh, cause you know that I can't do this on my own. Oh, cause you know that I can't do this. Hello, Mr. Wilson, and I identify as female female to male transgender. So that essentially means I identify as masculine slash a boy. But I'm biologically female. And how are you, Mr. Wilson? Sorry, I was just singing to pass the time because I needed to do something, essentially just to pass the time till someone showed up. Also, let me know if my mic quality is bad. Can you hear me? Is everything good? I haven't broadcasted in a long time, and not with the new YouTube setup, so I'll just type in the comments in case you can't hear me. Ooh, I can't type today. Ooh, I still can't type today. Okay. I'm assuming then you can hear me. Just gonna assume. Um, so, but how are you? What's up? Hold up. Actually, I'm heavily involved in my local church, thank you. But yeah, so actually I have stuff set up for tomorrow, so yeah. I'm just gonna give it a few more minutes because I did post a story on Instagram. I don't know if that's where you came from or not, but so I'm just gonna wait a few more minutes till a few more people have viewed that before I start into actually why I'm broadcasting. I'm just kind of passing time right now. Um, so yeah. Cry me a river at dawn. Sorry, I don't know. I'm in a weird singing mood and just trying to pass time. But what do you mean by that? What's up? Cry me a river at dawn. Darn it, it's stuck in my head now. Send me away with the words of a love song. Uh oh, oh. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sorry. I'm hyper and bleh. But no, honestly, how are you? What's up? Like, I'm not trying to mock you. I promise, Hein. Oh, and don't excuse me, or don't excuse me calling you Hun. It's kind of a bad habit. I just if it bothers you, let me know. Because yeah, I have a really bad habit of calling everyone Hun, regardless of who it is. So. But yeah, no, how are you, Mr. Wilson? Sorry, I'm like trying to keep the chat active, but I don't know what to do. Here's the weird thing with me and broadcasting. I can blabber to myself for forever. But as soon as someone comes in the chat, I'm like, awkward, doesn't process. Based on your previousness, what am I saying? I'm not speaking English at this point. Oh my god. Based on previous conversation and my being too tired to truly think through and process that, I'm assuming you mean a Bible. And actually, mine's back in a different city right now because I'm not actually living where the rest of my family lives right now. Just kind of home for the weekend. So, you know, not here, I don't think. Well, probably somewhere. I've had a lot of Bibles throughout my life, but I don't think I have one nearby right now because I took my main Bible back to where I'm living right now. What is? If you could give me in particular like a verse or something that I can look up. I'm not really following you here, Mr. Wilson. Ooh, my voice like went out there. Oh god. I feel like I'm honestly making a fool of myself live, but I think that's most. Let me think through this a bit more because I'm tired and not processing. So let me think before I respond. I'm actually kind of interested to hear why you say that, Mr. Wilson, because just based on my particular version, or not version, but like my particular belief set within Christianity, um, I would say that um, I wouldn't think it matters whether someone is polytheistic or not. Um, and I'd actually like to know why you think it's has immensely hazardous and spiritually fatal. So if you could explain that, that'd be like great. Oh, and yes, thank you. Thank you so much. I try. Yeah, kind of actually. I don't really have the money for good camera right now, so this is quite literally just off my laptop, and I'm not living here. I'm not really home all that much, so. But why do you feel it's wicked? Why do you feel that someone who's just trying to do what they believe is right and best throughout the world to the best of their extent, why do you believe that that is wrong or wickedness? But yes, so well, what? How are you? Hi, and yeah, kind of that yeah. My laptop camera is not great, and I don't have money for a good camera, or even a decent camera. On which part? The conversation I'm having with Mr. Wilson, or why my camera's bad, or why I'm not home to save up money. I can go into all of those. Just tell me which one, or if it's all, I can just tell me that. Because yeah, jumping in the middle of this could be kind of confusing. I'm sure. All of the above. Okay. So I will start with why I'm not home to save up money because that's just the simplest to explain. I'm currently in mental health treatment long term. So I'm working my way to discharge right now. And for that, that means spending weekends home and then weeks back at treatment. So I'm home for the weekend, but because I'm not home, I can't like save up money or things like that because I'm not home to earn the money. So it's yeah, it's just a matter of that. The conversation, um, I'm not quite really following either. Um, to what I'm understanding, Mr. Wilson here came in and asked me to identify my gender, then made a joke about genders, then told me I should go to church, then asked me if I had a Bible, and then went on a rant about what he believes people should do within, not really a rant, but went on about how he believes people should worship. So that's kind of where we're at in that conversation right now. And Mr. Wilson, I will get to you. And then I'm blanking what the other thing was. Remind me what the other thing was, and I will answer. So Mr. Wilson, I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, there's science saying that there is reason to believe there is a natural energy flow and a combining overall energy. Do I think that so I'll go down that first because I'm on a long train of thought that I'll have to get to with the Mr. Wilson conversation. So essentially what happened with that was I had been, let's see here, I fell into a deep depression in, as I mentioned, I'm in 8th grade now, but late 3rd grade, early 4th grade, and that just kind of got harder and harder to manage, and that led into self-harm. Once the self-harm got bad, like, I have scars all the way up and down all of my arms, so that mixed with depression still getting worse, mixing into mood cycles, and no one being able to get my meds figured out, just kind of a combination of that plus a few suicide attempts. Also, I should just warn everyone, this, like, oh my god, I get that a lot, but yeah. So yeah, that's kind of the story to that, and I'm doing a lot better now, but should be getting out soon, but yeah. So, and actually, Mr. Wilson, there's scientific research that says there's at least a natural flow and energy to everything, which is what keeps me even from straying away from the belief in a deity at all. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't know why it would be an issue for someone to worship differently than you or I do. But yeah, no, I get that a lot. But no, I'm 13, so I'll be turning 14 in December. Yeah. What? But how are you, lol? What? Also, if you guys have, so I'm transgender, he, him pronouns. So my gender would be, well, if you're looking for biological sex, female. My gender identity is, um, sorry, I got distracted reading a comment. My gender identity would be, a trans boy / man. You get the point. And Mr. Wilson, I kind of want to understand your logic here because you went from very over the top religious, very there is another higher power controlling us and that sort of thing, to we're all at our free will with our souls and we're all piles of flesh. So I kind of like to see your logic and thinking here throughout this conversation, actually. And also, I have a friend bugging me because I said I was telling someone about this conversation, so I'm just gonna quick take pictures of the chat. If you, well, what if you want your stuff scribbled out, just let me know. Because I can totally do that. You are not what this conversation's about. Okay, cool. And Mr. Wilson, another question. Where in the Bible or where in your thing of worship does it say specifically that I, as someone who feels entirely male, who feels and presents as a masculine individual, why is that a sin to the communion to faith? So yeah, That's my next question to you. And how are you, Lil What? Also, if either of you have a name you prefer me to call you, then your username, let me know. Otherwise, I'll stick to Lil What and Mr. Wilson. Really entirely up to you. So yeah. Lil What? I'm just quick random question. How did you actually find the broadcast? Are you one of the two people who viewed it on Instagram, or did you just randomly stumble across it? Because I'm kind of interested to see if anyone that's randomly on Instagram is checking and paying attention to what they're scrolling across in their stories. So I'm just kind of interested. Okay. So no, it was random. Okay, cool. How are you so sure in this? I'm trying to think of how to respond to both of these in one train of thought because I'm kind of having two separate trains of thought here. Also, well, what? Feel free to join the conversation on what's happening in chat right now, as far as with Mr. Wilson. Um, but why do you believe that it is a religious epitome? Why do you believe that is? Like, what makes you think to associate that word with being transgender within religion? Sorry, I'm also a little what. Sorry if I get very easily distracted. I'm someone that kind of loves these situations I get put in because I used to broadcast on YouNow a lot and used to get in situations such as the one we're going through with Mr. Wilson a lot. And I kind of love them because it makes you think. And I kind of love them for that reason. So if I get really, really off track, you're good. Also, I should mention this. I've changed my name since I made this channel. It'll get changed soon once I actually finish getting the details of this channel up and running. But I'm Blake. Hi. um, if you prefer to call me by name, call me Blake. Hi, I'm here. Also, sorry for sounding really stuffed up. I'm getting over a cold right now. So, no, I don't know. I've had a lot. I don't know whether I should consider you a troll or someone trying to get on my nerves. Very similar. Or if you're just a genuinely creepy person. Not creepy. What? I read your thing and said, yeah, it wasn't my forte, and then I realized I was trans. I'm like, and this is my forte now because then I have to live my life defending my right to be alive. So, um, no, I was on debate team not a few years back, like last year, when I was doing online school. So I've also learned to debate kind of everything. Um, but yeah, so I and back to Mr. Wilson. So I can't quite figure out what type of person you are with these questions, but I've had enough of people like this since I've A came out and B just been broadcasting for a few years. I've kind of gotten used to it and just roll with it. But no, so I definitely feel you there, Lil White. Up until not terribly long ago, gender wasn't my forte of debating either. Maybe. Fair chance. Another thing I've seen a lot of is really random profile pictures. And actually, the website, you know what? I'm not going to check chat for a sec because I kind of want to see if the website I used to use for broadcasting is like even still a thing. Like, I know it's still like a website you can go to, but I kind of want to figure out if like anyone broadcasts on there anymore, like at all. We're gonna really, really hope that I don't spawn into a random broadcast when I load this. Oh, it's trying to spawn me into a random broadcast. No, get to my profile. Get to my profile. Okay. So it appears people still use it, just not as many as they used to. That is my thing after looking at who's online. That it's still a thing, but nowhere near the same amount of people use it. So as far as like what I know for sure, Mr. Wilson, I don't know what to say to that. All I can tell you is you're not going to change my mind on my beliefs and religion, so pointless to try. But so as far as that goes, just based on what we know for sure, I'll be starting tea right around my 15th birthday. And then when I'm 16, so I'll be changing my name legally soon. That'll be done soon. And then the next big steps would be like top surgery and tea, and then once I have both of those completed, I think it's for like 6 months or something, I can have my gender tag switch. So that'll be the next thing after both of those. And I can have top surgery at 16, which would be like removal of my breasts. And then I haven't quite decided yet where I want to go with bottom surgery. And it also kind of depends on how much, like, there's a lot of other surgeries I could have, just depending on if they're necessary or not, which is really up to how T shapes, like, say, facial shape and body build and things like that, the T completely reshapes. So it really just depends. So I guess that if that answers your question. Okay, Mr. Wilson, I'm very confused right now because you're kind of going about 50 different ways, but I think I'm still following roughly. Well, earlier I would say you were actually pretty close to that. So I will get to that in a second. I have to respond to something. Um, Bathroom situation. This is going to be a really touchy subject, especially just I had an encounter today, which I'll get into after I'm done explaining myself. So my feel is that if if cis people are seriously that afraid of having trans people in their restrooms, they can give us a gender neutral space. Uh, as a trans person, I prefer to use gender neutral bathrooms more than I prefer to use the male bathroom. Um, if you seriously have an issue with that, give us our alternative. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's, as far as like my friends go, like that's, I think, a lot of their beliefs too, is like, if you're seriously uncomfortable with us in your space, give us our space, type thing. And I guess until that step is taken, trans people are in a very difficult situation as far as restrooms, because as much as I'm sure most of us would love to just use our preferred restroom, it's not that simple. Just today I walked into the male's restroom and was stared at, gawked at, told I was in the wrong restroom, death glared, told to leave. Someone threatened to get security, which I reminded them they couldn't do because there's a long reason, but essentially that would have been useless. They can't kick me out of the boys' restroom. Um, but yeah, so it was just very pointless conversation that I had today. But so with all of that kind of going on, like that's I guess the basis of mine. It's like if you don't want us to use cis people bathrooms. No, I shouldn't even say cis people bathrooms. I should say bathrooms. Either you can stop using the restrooms and you can be the one in the weird situation, or you can give us a gender neutral option, which I'm sure a lot of us would be happy to use instead. That's my feel on it. And no, I could get into biology, but I'm sure you asking that proves that you already know basic biology, and I'm pretty sure you understand what being transgender is, considering I explained it when you asked about my gender. So I'm really sure you already knew the answer to that question, but no. Um, as far as what? Career wise, I want to go into writing and modeling. I've done small scale modeling already, and I'd really love to continue that with the side of writing. Um, so it's kind of where my heart is. I don't know how realistic that is yet, because I haven't, I'm not old enough to have felt out the job world yet. But so that's kind of my dream goal. Like that would be the ideal thing. And as far as just like what do I aspire to be like as a human being, I just aspire to I'm trying to think of how to word this. Like I know what I want to say, but I don't know how to say it. You know what I mean? Anyone else in that situation a lot? But as far as that goes, um, I just kind of want to be knowledgeable, but not in the like know my beliefs type way. Well, yes, that too, but not in the I think this is right because it's my opinion way, but in the general or not general, but in the general, but in the general way of just I want to understand the topics I'm speaking about and understand the things that are connected to me and that are at my fingertips and that are not at my fingertips, but like that have to impact with my life and other people's lives and just the world in general. So I guess that's if that answers your question. I hope it does. But yeah. So what do you aspire to be, Lowell? Yeah, I'm in the middle of my own stream. I'll be in when I can. No, I do, but if you want to start like a single player game, then we can switch over once I get in. That'd be great. Okay, cool. I'll be in when I can. Sorry, my brother was. Ooh, there we go. Cool, cool. It's very cool. I know a few people that are in different branches, so it's very cool. And yeah, that's kind of how I feel too. I have general long term goals, but I'm much more focused on short term and making it through what I'm going through right now. Like, if I had to name short term goals, get out of treatment, get a good education, continue to understand my learning environment, things like that. Like, that would be like short term goals. So, the nice thing about being 13 is I don't have to worry about like long term planning quite yet. Like, I don't have to worry about college, that sort of thing. That's kind of a next well, I guess I probably should be on some level, but I don't have to be yet. You know what I mean? That's kind of the point of that. So No, so I identify as queer, which essentially is just another way of saying I'm not straight. So yes and no. Yes, on some level, yes. On all levels and strictly, no. I already answered this, Mr. Wilson. I do not. So, like, yes and no. You know what I mean? I'm trying to think of a better way to explain it. I guess queer just essentially like my identity identity as far as like sexuality goes and romanticness goes is kind of, I guess, what I had to put like a more understandable, less general label, I'd go with pan, romantic and sexual. Um, just because that, like, it's essentially that just means anyone, any gender, anything like that, any pronouns, I could be attracted to you on some level. Now, the reason I go by queer is there's a lot of the things with that is it's a very general term. And I don't want to accidentally mislead someone. I'm like, it's much harder for me to become romantically attracted to a female. And that's another entire thing. So I just go by queer because it's easier and just essentially means I'm not straight. Hey, heads up, I'm not straight. Like, that's, you know what I mean? So that's kind of why I go by queer, if that explains it better. Um, hopefully. Let me know if I need to re explain again. I'm trying, I'm just not great at it. So, okay, you got it. Thank God. I explained it right. Yes, that's a win. Oh my God. Sorry, I'm like getting to the point where I'm kind of hyper. Ooh, someone else is in here, it appears. I don't know who. They haven't said anything yet. At least they haven't, nothing's shown up in chat. I don't know if there's like a lag with chat or not. I can just see there's a third person. I'm like, ooh, but no one's chatting. So yeah. Accidentally unplugged my phone. That's not a good thing. Yeah, so Lil, what else do you want to know? Or what else should I know about you? Just because I don't know. I'm So the reason I actually went live today, I should probably get into that. Like I've probably gotten all the people I'm gonna get. I wanted to see just a few more people from like Instagram will show up. But essentially the reason I'm actually even broadcasting today is just to start to put this channel out there. I've done a few things on this channel, but it wasn't really anything that I had like a passion in. Well, it was things I had a passion in, but not a reason behind, if that makes sense. It was things I loved doing, but it wasn't something that to me felt purposeful. And I found that purpose now. So I want to use this channel to hopefully reach out to others that are struggling with mental health and take that idea and just do things that, like, if I saw them would make me smile, laugh, etc., that would make me feel better, as well as mix it in with informative videos and just doing things that make me feel good, just doing things for myself and not feeling like it has to be a purpose. So I kind of want to mix all of that together as I do this channel. And so this is just kind of a me putting it out here as to what this channel is and just kind of me trying something new as far as this broadcast goes. So yeah, that's why in short, both more like in long. Um, yeah, yeah. I know I've made some in the past, but, it just never took off, and I feel like that's a step I wanna take after I have, like, a bit of something going because also keep in mind I'm only home on the weekends right now, and there's only so much I can do, like, between now and or whenever this live stream ends, and I have to leave at, like, 3:30 tomorrow to get back to treatment on time. Like, in that time frame, I have to get, like, the YouTube channel set up, any social media set up, I need to change all my uh, handles to reflect Brett Blake because I changed my name since I last got involved in all this. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a large process, so it's kind of taken a back burner right now. As much as I love Discord and do use it quite frequently, it's kind of taken a back burner right now. So, ooh, I should probably get food at some point. Whatever. I'll get food after. Nope, because their logic behind it is that a lot of kids that come in have like a social media addictions and like not serious like addictions like drug addictions, but like they have a lot to do with their phone or they use their phone in an unhealthy way or that was their means of getting like drugs and stuff or just kind of to prevent that and balance things out. We can't have our phones or laptops or anything like that, anything electronic really, besides MP3 players. We're allowed MP3 players. It's the one electronic we're allowed. So yeah, very, very strict on electronics. And so no, I don't have my phone or anything. I don't have access to any of that until the weekend. Yes and no. That's kind of a complicated question, but I guess if this channel is all about honesty, I might as well answer it. So as far as that goes, it's actually one of the things that's keeping me there right now because my therapist feels I could have a better connection. Like my mom and I are pretty stable, but my grandfather and I are kind of like we don't talk a lot essentially, so it's kind of hard to say. And my mom and grandmother. So another thing I should bring up while I'm talking this about this is they believe I have something called EID, which essentially is stands for emotional and emotional intensity disorder, which essentially means that I interpret things really strong because of past trauma. Like I was raped and things like that. So because of that sort of thing, I interpret things much different. So like if like to put this kind of in perspective, since I'm not having a hard time right now, I can actually do that. But like what when I'm not in the middle of an EID episode, see is a very minimal, disagreement could seem like a very big earth-shattering deal. So I guess that's kind of made it really hard as far as relationships with family go. Just because kind of my whole life I felt like everything's on rocky ground, or not my whole life, but a lot of my more recent life. It's kind of felt like everything's on rocky ground just because I don't interpret it the way reality is, or have a hard time doing that, I should say. It's not that I'm incapable, but it's very hard to do for me, which I'm getting better with. But so that's kind of where that falls. So yeah, that if that answers your question. But like, yeah, for the most part, a really good relationship. Like we've always been semi-stable. Oh yeah, cool, totally. I will copy my user here because because quite honestly, had enough random people on my Skype that I can just put it in chat. Okay, so that's my Skype there. Yeah. I get medicated at an early hour. And some of my meds do make me tired, so I'm not sure I'll be up. Just depending on, I'm off my sleep med now, so I shouldn't be tired, but too early. But sometimes that happens anyway while it's still in my system. So we'll see if I'm awake or not. That's kind of up for grabs, but. Skype and its updates. Amazing all the time, isn't it?
Yes, I took second place.
Beep, boop, hop, beep. I don't know. I'm tired. Well, I'm not tired, but I'm like at the point where my brain is like, or we could not be functioning right now. And this is leading me to random noise time. I have like none of this water left, whatever. Just let me know. And that's also my Instagram. That's like all my social media essentially. So once you have that somewhere, I'm probably gonna get off so I can go get food and then go into my brother's room to help him broadcast and start setting stuff up. So it's kind of hectic night because I need to get most of this done tonight because I have to be up early for stuff in the morning. So just let me know once you have that like down somewhere. Okay, cool. I'll just wait till I get that notification so I know you have the stuff because you seem like a genuinely good person and I don't like losing contact with genuinely nice people for obvious reasons, so. What the hell? When you suddenly just now get the notice of randomness. Okay, here we go. Okay, cool. I'm gonna jump off broadcast then now that I have you added, so that I can go get food. But yeah, feel free to message me on there if you want. See ya.